Well, hi guys, welcome back to MK Sportscars Kit Car Direct. We are back in the workshop and we're going to be speaking about this hashtag Tom. It's a RX-5 turbo. If you've been following the build, we kind of update this every few weeks. We don't actually every 5 minutes, but as the build progresses really. So if you didn't know and you haven't watched the other old episodes, I'm going to give a little bit of summary, bit of a recap before we jump into some of the new stuff. So RX-5 is the 1.8 NB engine, so Mark II. So that's 98 to 2000, 1.8 litre, and it's got a nice TD04 turbo now with a short log style type manifold. In there you've got things like the injectors are upgraded, you've got the oil feed lines in, all in, done, turbo drains down, can't really see it, it's down for the sump. Engine and gearbox is all mated and marriage has been made on those, and we've got the oil cooler down in here. So this is going to have an oil cooler, it's hard to see down in here. We've got a decent size oil cooler, I think it's 25 row I do believe, and you probably think, well, why didn't you fit it in front of it? Well, because what we've got in front of that is a intercooler. So we've got the radiator here and the intercooler here, the last bit of the pipework to go in that way round, Sean, for the throttle body to here. That's the last bit with the air filter, horn, things like that. And then this panel here is for the nose cone, which I'll get to in a minute. All the front suspensions, double A-arm, inboard for front suspension, which some of you guys already know about, but for those who've never watched this before, we've got the pushrod style inboard front suspension using the Mazda MX-5 uprights and the Mazda brakes, which is a 256 vented on a wheelwood caliper with our bracketry, our wing stays, our headlight brackets, IVA compliant indicators and headlights, all in that dimensions. Into basically a 2.4 quick crack on this, so it's quick enough for road and for track use. Moving along in here, into the engine bay a bit more. Some of the bodywork, in fact most of the bodywork has actually been dry fitted and installed. Side panel, exhaust holes cut for the turbo and the link pipe is already done. And then we're moving into the bulkhead. So it's all been mounted and dry fitted ready, which is your oil catch tank. And this will feed from 2 locations. We got it from here and another one from here. Excuse me, I'll screw that back in. Here's one I made earlier. And we fit that to it as well. And then you've got your header tank, which will run a coolant pipe down and around. And then we've got the battery, which is an Odyssey PC680, which is more than ample, into our aluminium bulkhead. Chassis plates all installed. You've got chassis plate in one location here, and then also down on the front chassis rail here as well. So that's all installed there. Again, it's an IVA compliant. Scutter's all installed. Most of the wiring is laid in complete to the chassis and fixed up to the rear. All the padded centre tunnel, we do this on poppers. So if you've got one and you're doing the kit at the moment, we put, same as we do with the boot cover, we put little poppers in. It's just that if you ever want to get in here and service it, it's so much easier. And then gear lever and handbrake all will pop on quite nicely. And again, it covers it up, makes it nice and neat and tidy for IVA, and you get a little phone holder to boot as well. Or perhaps if you've got your big wad of cash that you want to put in there. Won't say any other substances, you never know. Steering column's in, but we've just figured out we've just got to supply the ignition, which is here. That's going to be bolted on. I think we're using this ignition barrel, which is supplied. All the billet pedal boxes in. So the MK billet pedal box all mounted under there, right the way through. And then we've got the seats have all been dry fitted. The seats are up here, seat runners, and then all the trim in them. Done for the sharp edge. Remembering guys, if you're building a car at home, making sure the sharp edge is 2.5mm radius. These bits all need covering with the trim through the harnesses and around the sides of the seats, just to make it pliant. You've got your little adjuster there. So they've all been pre-fitted. Side panel on this side has been done. And when we move around, it's the same as the other side. It's been dry fitted. We're just finishing off a little bit of wiring before we do the other thing, which fitting it because it's just easier with here. So if you're working on the alternator, doing the plug and the brake pots, before you put your side panels on, it is a lot easier to do this now than trying to work from the top because it's nice and easy. I've got plenty of access. Whereas if you're just working in a small space here, it's much, much harder. So in your build, in your progress, you can have this car, well, completely running as like a skateboard, exoskeleton skateboard before you put the bodywork on really. So that's all in, throttle cable in, all done. And then moving to the back, we've got the double A arm again. So top of them, these are specific for the Mazdas, and the Mazda upright, Mazda rear caliper, which actually work really well. Handbrake cables and new discs, 251 solid disc. Rear panels in, with our IVA compliant fog light and number plate light all wired in as one, and the rear arch on this side is done and the rear arch on that side is done with the lights in, which again will have your side stop indicator, reverse and reflector, which is again required for IVA. So now we move across under here, boot cover just getting the first stage of the poppers going in. Under here on the rear, pretty much buttoned up, handbrakes in, fuel filters, diff, double arms, fuel tank, and the pump from the Mazda MX-5 that we use, which is a modified version. We supply you with a bracket for that to modify it. And then things like this, still got to have the diff oil put in, just leaving a no oil tag on it as well. And making sure that when you're putting in your saddle bushes, making sure that these are below 300 mil. All the wire is tucked up under here, loose at the moment. We just got to do, look, 2 plugs down here, already done for the lights, so already wired in for the plugs down there. For the rear lights and number plate lights done. We just got to finish this side off, which this is supplied in your loom, and then you just do the other side once it gets to your rear lights. Fuel caps in, it's a lockable one, IVA compatible as well, so keys are just there ready for it. And the nose cone's sitting here with the Jesus fasteners, which we put in, so it's going to be quick release, and it's having its grills put in. So what we do is lay them in, bond them in, cut them, bend them, and then just leaving a little bit of weight on it overnight so that cures, making it nice and neat and tidy. And here's one I made earlier. We used a nice black mesh, which always looks pretty smart. Actually, we started doing the old number plate stick on like this on here. What do you think? I think they look quite smart. You're going to go, oh, they're not legal. Da, da, da. We do have illegal plates, but when they're on a track and stuff like that, this is fine. You know, it's a show plate, should we call it that? We'll leave that here for the cup car, ready to go on. And then the last job will be the bonnet just to fix, but we've got the nose, all of that bodywork is completely dry fitted. And then we have the final task then of the wiring loom for the engine. That's here, ready to go in next. That's the next job, and the dashboard. So those are 2B, but for the dashboard, when you're running the standard clocks, if you haven't seen this, guys, I know some of you have seen it 100 times probably, but we've moulded this on so that you then fit the clocks behind it for the standard MX-5 clocks, which will be here, which will be bonded on, like so. So they'll fit in nice and secure. Just put that back up there for a minute. And that will finish that off right the way through, and then we're on with panels and just the engine wiring and a few other jobs, some coolant reroutes that we've done for the radiator. We've got to do a return here. The hot and cold feed's done, but we've got to do a return here. This will come all the way back to the top here, the header tank, so you can bleed the air out of your radiator. Cold air intake's done. That bracketry's made for it, so when it comes through the nose cone now, to make it nice and cool. So yeah, coming along quite nicely actually, and most of it will go together quite quickly because it's all been pre-dry fitted. So some of the bits to do to carry on, then we're on with wheels and tyre choices and things like that, and then bonding the front wings. Right, here we are with Tom's car, just, well, priming it really. So first start of your car, some people just go straight in and crank it, but the engine's been built on this, so it's probably pretty dry in places. Trying to get the oil pump primed. So what we've done here, we've removed the plugs and leads so that it can turn over a lot faster. Joseph's done a great job, disconnected it on the ECU, so we've got nothing like injectors firing or crank sensor, is it? We think we've turned off as well. Oh, sorry, cam sensor. No,
I've turned off coils and the injectors.
Turn off coils and the injectors, done. Boom. So now what we've done, we've plumbed in, on the back of the head here, there's a little 1/8 MPT port, just at the back here, Finny will see that in a minute. And then we've got a little temporary gauge, just plumbed in, because it hasn't got an oil pressure gauge on the standard instruments, it's just like a switch. So we thought we'd make sure we get oil pressure up here. So what we're going to do now is crank it over, crank the car over and see if this comes up to around 60, ideally. So we give it a crank and it should turn over quite fast. Let's wait, there we go, we've got oil pressure coming up. So it's going to easily get up to 60. Yeah, it's about 60. So now we know we've got oil coming up to the top of the engine, it's picking up on the pickup points, it's primed the oil cooler and everything else. That's kind of like safe to start now. So next job, put it all back together and see if she fires. See if she makes a noise, boom boom noises.
This map out of 3 different maps.
So James has made this map out of 3 different maps, right? Because it's slightly different to what we normally do. Not the norm.
No idea what injectors are in it.
We don't know what injector sizes are in it. because the engine was built by the customer, which is fine, but you know, that's it. We've installed it all. So we're going to put this together. It's got oil pressure, so that's a plus. And now, we give them a nip. Won't go too mad. They were quite heavily torqued before. We won't go too mad in case we need to whip them out again. Just giving them a light nip up. There'll be a torque setting for those guys, no doubt. And you'll go on the forums, oh, you need to torque them up. Yes, you're correct. But for now, we're just giving them a light nip, not even going too mad. We'll put the coil packs in. Or coil leads anyway, not packs on these, but there you go. Find a connection. Right, we got fuel. We got fuel. That's a good noise. Joe. We got noise, and I'm going to stand clear. Let's see if she makes some noise. Oh. Can you smell fuel?
Yeah, loads of it.
I can smell fuel.
I haven't checked to see if it's in the single.
Oh yeah, very wet. Very wet plugs.
Yeah. Won't they? Haven't been turned.
No. So it's got fuel.
Gone are the old days when you could just move the distributor around a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of distributor going on right now, Peter, wouldn't it? Be like, yeah. Well, no, but it's carbs we're on about. Hey, this is carbs would have been lovely, wouldn't it, eh? So, phase 2. Very quick fix. This is literally 5 minutes later, and I kid you not, 5 minutes later. Joseph's been on the laptop. What we didn't realise, did we, Joseph? Because we didn't put the engine together. It's actually got a trigger wheel down here, which is different to the standard one. It's got a 36.2, which doesn't help because it can't sink on the engine, which is why we didn't know it's sinking. So now, number 2, Joseph changed the map. Battery was getting a little bit low where it was cranking, so we'll just put a jump pack on it for now. Quickly, so we're going to go, boom. Let's see if she rolls now. Ooh. Do we have life? We have life. Yep, and we got 60 psi of oil pressure as well, so golden. There we go, we have life. She runs, so that's the next phase. Now Joseph's gonna work his magic. By the way, happy birthday, Joseph. Happy birthday. Yes, so well done, Joseph. He's used his magic, his little fingers, he's been working his magic on there. I think it's all the cake. Sorted that out, so now Tom's car is running, but there's a lot more to do. Bit of mapping and processes on it, but make sure you remember, do the processes, do the checks, make sure you got oil pressure and all those things before you start running it up. Absolutely no point otherwise, especially if you've built an engine or it's fresh, we're good to go. So yeah, next up, more laptop work. Right, next up here we've got the RX-5, another one that we've built and ready for getting prepped for IVA. Done quite a bit of work, engine on this one. We've done a little video on the first start on it. Unfortunately, it was a bit poorly, the engine, had some issues. So we've dealt with that. It's all done. Not a problem, fresh engine, 29,000 mile engine actually. Done all the good stuff on it, making sure it's going to be reliable for the customer. Customer built the engine, he didn't know that. It is what it is, it's one of those things, but this engine now, it's spot on, sweet as that. Done the emissions on this the other day, mapped it all up, making sure it's compliant. It's bang on idle and fast idle. Finny will throw the video up of that, showing it's doing it. And this is just in the final stage there, it's on the ramp, just doing the final inspection, final geo on the car, making sure, like I said, on everywhere, just making sure everything's tied and tucked away, cable tied in nice. This is turbocharged. I expect to see 230 plus on this engine with this TD04 in here. You've just got to change the spring in here. It's got a forged actuator here, which has got the wrong spring poundage, so we're going to change that to a green spring. We've got a 230 plus engine, 230 plus, 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 we'll get that sorted out for him so it makes between 7 and 10 psi. That'll be absolutely golden. And it's really nice in the Golf blue. What do you think, guys, in this blue colour? Looks really, really smart with the black. Roll cage, the new wheels on it that we've got on there, the VR ones, really look nice. Really transforms the car. Engine's super sweet, super tidy, nice clean engine bay. And we just finish off with the final bits on this, which is boot cover's just been done. We've got some harness covers to do and the shroud to finish off here. Now we've centralised all the steering and getting it geoed, just get it on. Oh, super track is being charged, so we'll get that on the ground, get it all buttoned up and ready for IVA. But yeah, if you want to know more about the RX-5 range, you know what to do. Come down to the factory or see us, give us a call, jump down, jump on an email, talk about the Mazda. These are great home build cars and they start from like £2,550 plus VAT starting off your build project, and you can end up with one of these wicked little tools.